Okay, you are co-host now.
Okay.
How are you?
Too soon to tell.
I can understand that.
Gerald all set up.
Yeah.
Once again today?
Yeah, for the next 5 weeks or so.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Reminder went out on Facebook. Okay. And an email reminder went out. All right. Oh, gracious. It's just one making a run for it. I guess we're a few minutes early still. I won't be able to participate a lot because I'm training 2 people at the front desk at 9 from 9 to 11. But I'll be listening, so if you need something, you know.
Hey Jim, she's gonna go over team stuff with me.
He should have access now. He should have access to the team stuff now.
Okay.
He should have access to the team stuff now.
Yeah, I just was going to say, while you're doing that, while we're doing that, you may want to do the call while you're going over the.
If you want to sit in on
because you
Gerald's
don't care about this part, I don't think, right?
Well, honey,
I care about everything.
a basic understanding of how teams and command works is good.
Okay.
So,
I just was thinking if he does a 9 o'clock
do
thing,
you want me
maybe.
to copy? Hey, we're getting more people. Good morning, everyone. If you want to do that, you can sit in the conference room, and then it's kwagentgrowth.com.
I'm gonna get my computer ready.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
Very interesting issues about working and also school choice as well. I'm a caller. It has a lot of
Okay. So this morning, the one and only Gerald Ashford is going to be taking over my Tech O Tuesday class. And next week, and this is because I'm working 5 weeks at the front desk, next week, Clark Kendall, our regional tech director, will be teaching the class, and that should be a great class as well. Morning. So before Gerald gets started, does anyone have command questions this morning? No? Okay. So I'll be at the front desk for like the next 5 weeks. So if you have command questions, you can come into the office and catch me at the front desk, and you can sit with me for a little bit if you need to. We're almost edging up on 9. Gerald, do you have any announcements or anything?
No, I'm just gonna, I'll briefly cover what we're gonna cover today. I just briefly want to go over a few general security things with the people that are here today. Just things that may help prevent you from falling victim to a scam or some things along those lines. Obviously, there's as real estate agents, you guys put your information out there a lot. And unfortunately, people use that to try to scam people frequently. So. And then I'm going to do a brief overview of Google services and how you can use them as a real estate agent to help further your business. We're going to give it just a couple more minutes here to see if anybody else shows up. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start by covering just a couple general security topics and things that you may see as a real estate agent or somebody who has their information very public on the internet, such as your phone number and email. So a lot of the typical scams that you may see, obviously, you've probably seen on Facebook recently, all the posts about people getting text messages from Martin asking for money. That is a scam that we frequently see. If there's any concern, if anybody, may you think have asked for that, the easiest way to verify is a simple phone conversation. These people frequently, they rely on, I'm in a meeting, I just changed my phone number, these slew of tactics to make you not want to contact that person. But unfortunately, people frequently try to pull this. So if you do think that there is any chance that it is valid, speak to the person in person or over the phone at least. Don't trust text messages. I have seen people fall for that in the past, so be very cautious of that one. Just a couple other quick ones that I see a lot are the emails of people receiving invoices saying they need to renew their antivirus software or they need to pay for this domain privacy protection. As somebody who's in business, you may see a wide variety of these letters. Sometimes they'll come across as emails. Sometimes they'll take your business address and they will physically mail you a letter. Usually these are frequently scams. Only trust companies that you've actually done business with. So I mentioned domains, for example. When you register a domain, your name and the address for that domain is public unless you've paid to make it private. And people will go scrape that information and they'll mail out something saying, hey, you need to pay for privacy protection on your domain, when in all reality, you don't actually need to pay for anything like that. They're just trying to get you to send them money, and usually they're a third-party company. Even people buying properties frequently see these scams. So typically, I myself just bought a house 18 months ago. And for the last 18 months, I've been receiving letters telling me I need to renew my home warranty, all this stuff. And they're from companies that I don't know and have never done business with, giving me a registered copy of my deed and all this stuff. And they're all actually third-party companies. Another thing that you may frequently see as real estate agents is sometimes on the internet, what will happen is somebody will actually, through an ad or through a malicious link, will actually hijack a website that you're on. And they'll pop up a window saying, hey, you need to call us here at Microsoft and we'll fix your computer. I have seen people fall victim to that scam. It is a scam. Microsoft, for end users, does not provide those kind of services typically. They will if you get to the right department, but usually you have to call Microsoft. Nothing's ever going to pop up on your screen prompting you to call them. So that's really all I had in the way of trying to help you guys avoid scams and just kind of the things that you may frequently see in real estate. Now, the next thing I want to do is I just want to share my screen and kind of cover with you guys really quick a couple things on Google services and how you can use Google services to help promote your business. So when somebody, for example, comes down here to the lake, and they just do a simple Google search for real estate agent or realtor near me because they came down here and they want to buy a house. So one of the quick things that you'll see here is you'll see a few things that pop up. You'll see a couple up here, and then you'll see down in here the map of where you're currently located and real estate agents that are near you. Or you can actually see the full map view and they'll show you everything in a local area. Now, what you can do here is you can actually be part of these listings. Obviously, we are part of Google My Business as as Keller Williams itself. But you can create, if you have not done so already, you can go to it's mybusiness.google.com and you can go through the steps of creating a Google My Business page. And when you do that, you're going to have to sign into a Google account. Most people already have a Google account, either from Keller Williams. The G Suite that's provided as part of your Keller Williams product is technically a Google account and can be used to sign in and create a Google My Business account. Once you do this, it's going to walk you through a few steps. It's going to ask you the name of your business, some basic contact information like phone number, your business category, things like that. Let me see if I can actually sign into a So I'm just going to, for example, just kind of walk you through this whole thing here, and we're not going to actually publish this, but we're just going to use my information, for example. And then, so if your business does not already pop up in these search results, it means that you more than likely do not have a Google My Business profile under here. And then it's going to prompt you to actually create a business with that name. And then, so once you get in here, it's going to actually walk you through creating your profile. And it's very simple. You just start typing in, and it's going to suggest to you what you're actually probably looking for. So in this case, most people in this category would be coming in as a real estate agent, and then just keep walking through the process. So if you have an office here at the office, or you want to meet clients here at the office, then you can go ahead and put your location down. And then I'm just going to use the office address here, for example. And then it's going to ask, because there's other real estate related businesses here, if this is a match. Obviously, that's one of the office profiles. So we're going to say that doesn't match because you're creating a profile for yourself as an agent. And then it's going to, as I mentioned, continue to ask questions here. Do you serve customers outside this location? Obviously, the answer there would be yes, you do serve customers outside of this location. And then what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to add all the areas that you service. So down here at the lake, obviously you'd want to add Lake Ozark, probably Sunrise Beach, Osage Beach, and you'd want to go through and add all of these cities that you're servicing as a real estate agent. And the more of these that you add, the wider your area is going to be, and you're going to show up in searches in a wider area. And then it's also going to continue asking you for some further information as you proceed through here. It's going to ask you for your phone number. It's going to ask you for your website. There in that case, if you have the KW website, you can just put in the
Tuesday, you're on duty?
website.
Yeah, I'm just listening to Zoom right now.
If you
Gerald's
have
on.
a custom domain, then you can use the custom domain that you've purchased from an outside provider.
Elise came in and said he's going to be on, so I'm just kind of.
Okay, there we go. So once you've got all that information put in, you can just continue to click through. This here is something, it's going to ask you if you want to stay in the know and get updates from Google on the My Business stuff. In this case here, I would recommend you always tell it yes. What that's going to do is Google frequently makes changes to how their calculations work. And so they're going to let you know these changes as they come up. And then once you're fully done, there may be a couple more steps here. It's going to ask you to verify your business. And then you can see here, it's wanting to verify to 109 Horseshoe Bend Parkway, and then it's wanting to ask a contact name. So what you can do there is you can go ahead and put your name in. They're going to mail a card there to the office, and it's going to have a code in it that you would have to then go back in and verify later. And then once you get that code, you can actually come back into your My Business profile. Once you get all these other stuff completed, you can add a business description, you can add photos, and we'll get into a little bit more of this stuff later. I just kind of want to get in here and kind of show you guys the meat and bones of this stuff. So once you're into Google My Business, a My Business profile looks like this here. So you've got kind of your COVID-19 information right here that you can post updates. You can update your business hours, any information that's obviously affected due to the whole COVID thing. Once you have a history on here, they're actually going to let you know how many people are finding you on Google, how many people are searching for you on Google, typing in your name directly, or how many people are discovering you. They're going to let you know how many people have called you, how many people have asked for directions to your business. So they do give you very good analytics out of this. And this platform is completely free. I know some of us in here, I may have covered this in the past with you. I do consider this to be a very critical thing. It does help you compete in the modern landscape with everything being internet-based. A lot of people do rely on Google for finding businesses and products and services that they're looking for. So there is a few things to this that you have to manage once you're done once you're done creating it to get optimal results. The biggest thing is I somewhat consider this to be like a social media network like Facebook. It's not really in the aspect of content, reaching out to your friends, but they do have a lot of social network like functionality in here. So for example, you can create a post. And what these posts will do is you can just add something in here. Hey, got this house under contract in 21 hours. Call me to sell your house today, and then publish that. And what these are going to do is businesses that do a couple things under Google My Business actually get promoted more than businesses that don't do this. The first thing would be actually creating these posts and these content on a regular basis. So just come up with things to post. You know, if you've got a new listing coming to the market, you can put that listing and say, hey, call me to learn more about this listing. And somebody that, you know, is stumbling upon business profiles on Google, I'm not saying that they may find that listing, but because you're an active poster on Google My Business, Google actually promotes those people more, and you're more likely to get a call. So for example, you can see these businesses here when you pull up this full map view. You can see a few things in common with these first few businesses. The first couple of them here, you can see that they say they're ads. And what that means is that those two people there are actually paying Google money every month to appear on top of this list. And you definitely can do that as well. That's a whole separate side of this. That's actually Google AdWords. And that can potentially help your business as well, but there is some pretty substantial expenses involved with getting on the top of this list on a regular basis. But we're going to skip that. We're not really discussing that here today. So you can see here, these first couple results here are results that are very local to my picked up location. But after that, you can see a couple of other results here. That are just kind of other outside agents and things like that. What you're going to notice about a lot of these people that are higher up in the list is that they have more reviews. As you go further down this list, you're going to notice less and less reviews. So that's just kind of your first indication that Google does actually use this to promote their finding of people on their search engines. And you will see a couple people down in here that do have a couple of reviews on their Google, but you can see that the first page there is primarily all people that have reviews on their Google that are somewhat interactive with their Google My Business profile. They have plenty of pictures, they have reviews, they have links to schedule appointments. They are very interactive, they respond to reviews. Google very actively promotes these people that are very interactive on Google My Business. And this is something here that you put up a post every 2 weeks or so, which is about my recommendation for putting content on this platform. To stay relevant on it, I recommend every 10 to 14 days to put up a picture, put up something to stay interactive with your potential clients. And this is something here that if it leads to 1 or 2 transactions a year at the average prices that stuff sells for down here, you know, you're talking a lot of money for not really a lot of your time. And that's really all it is in this case, is time. A lot of people in this business want money to advertise and promote. This is one way that a lot of people don't take advantage of, that they can advertise and promote themselves for completely free. So, and then, so going back to the other side of this, so when you're going through these categories here, you can see a whole bunch of information. You can see, you know, your address, and that can be updated through clicking this button. You can see your service areas, your hours, your phone numbers, website. You can add a link to schedule an appointment. So if you use something like Appointly or Appointlid or something like that, you can integrate your Appointlet link in here, and you can have people book appointments to meet with you directly on the Google My Business listing. It's something you don't necessarily have to do, but it's something that definitely is an option and can help potentially. And then, so obviously, you've got your description here and all of this other information, and you can update this completely as you see fit. The more information you put in, the better. I do recommend filling this out to the best of your ability. And if you do have any questions about any of this stuff, I actually have went to direct trainings on them, and I'm fully aware of everything at this platform and can help you in any way. So going down in here into insights. So insights is kind of what you got the preview of there on the homepage. And this is going to give you analytics on how people are finding your Google My Business profile. So this here, people are discovering it through searching for a service. So that would be the people that are typing in real estate agent near me. Just our profile on here, 2,742 people saw that KW Four Seasons Realty My Business listing alone through that. 1,426 people typed in KW Four Seasons Realty and were led to that profile. And you can view this as you gather further analytics and insights. You can actually look at this further over like a quarterly period. You can see the people that are seeing you on search, the people that are seeing you on maps. They give you very, very good analytics and breakdowns on this. And from what I've seen through helping multiple people with this, very active profiles will see a very large increase in traffic on this platform. And like I said, if it turns out to be 2 calls a year, that's 2 calls a year that may have been steered to somebody other than you. So that's kind of, considering this platform is completely free, that's kind of one of the reasons why I think it's very useful.
I'm good. How are you, Clyde? Oh, are you? What have you been doing to make yourself talk?
The other thing that I wanted to cover, so the reviews. So you can just simply send out a campaign to all of your previous clients, and you can say, hey, go find me on Google and leave me a review. And you can also copy the link to your Google My Business profile as well. So say this, so your Google My Business profile. Let's see here, I believe there's a place to share it on here. I know you can share it on the phone, so you can get a link on your phone and you can share that with people, and you can go back through your database, and you can encourage people to go back and leave you reviews. So that's the other part of it, is building up the reviews. A lot of this other stuff is stuff that isn't really as important. Some of it's just kind of going back over, so you can go in and look at all the pictures that have been posted under your Google My Business profile. Products is kind of for something that if you wanted to showcase products, I suppose this could be used to showcase listings. I've never actually done this, and I don't really know of any necessary benefit to it, but you definitely could potentially do that. This here is the category for services, and then this is where you can go in and add all of your services. And then the other thing that you can do is, if you have multiple people that may be working on your Google My Business profile, is under users, you can add additional users to your Google My Business profile, and then they can also post to it or do various functions depending on what levels of permissions you set. Just really quick before I continue, does anybody have any questions over what we've covered so far? Okay. we'll move on then. That's the main part of what I wanted to cover here. A couple other things that I would like to just briefly cover, just to make sure everybody's aware that they're taking full advantage of what KW makes accessible to them. So when you sign up for a KW email, that is part of a platform called Google G Suite. And Google G Suite will actually do a lot of things for you. It not only provides your Gmail account, but one of the other just critical things that can be quickly used to help further your business is Google Drive. Google Drive is essentially an online cloud storage platform that you can store files, documents, about anything that you want right here. And so what you can do is you can actually upload documents into this platform simply by dragging them and dropping them in here. And you can then take those documents and you can share them with other people. So take this document, for example, say I wanted to share this with somebody. I just right click on it and share. And then I tell it how I want to share and who I want to share it with. So for example, if I want to make it where anyone with this link here can view or download or whatever the document, I would set that permission to anyone with the link. And then I would say, if I just want them to be able to download that document, then I would set them as a viewer on it. If I wanted them to be able to contribute to this document, then you can obviously add them as an editor, and then they can edit that document. And then you can copy that link and send that to anybody, and then they can access that file. So that's one thing that you can do as a real estate agent that's going to help facilitate the quicker transfer of information. It's just something something you might be able to use in your business to help you. This can work with documents. So if you've got an overview on a property you're wanting to send to somebody really quick, but you can't get it to go through to them through email, put it in Google Drive, share a link to it. Just another method to help you be more effective as a real estate agent. And there is some other things with Google G Suite that you may not be using as well that may be beneficial to you. They have essentially a fully functional version of Microsoft Office in here. So you can create documents, letters, things like that. It's a fully functional version essentially of Microsoft Office. It may look a little bit different, but most of the core functionality is all there. So if that's something, you don't have a copy of Microsoft Office on your computer and you need to do a spreadsheet or a document, all of that stuff is an option through the stuff that Keller Williams provides for you currently. Another thing that I like a lot that you may not be using to its full benefit is Google Meet. What Google Meet is, it's actually a platform that's like Zoom, except it's completely free. So all you've got to do is once you're signed in to your KW email is just click Google Meet. You can select that you want to do a new meeting. You'll create a new meeting for later, and then it's actually going to give you all the information to send to your people right here. So here's the link to the meeting. Here's a dial-in phone number if they don't have internet. And then here's the PIN number to join the meeting. And then you can simply copy that and say, hey, let's meet later, and send this link to them. And the great thing is you can actually install Google Meet on your smartphone, and you could use this for, say, a virtual tour or something. Somebody's in St. Louis, they want to look at a property, you can send them this link, you can go there, have Google Meet on your cell phone, and just simply do a meeting through Google Meet using what's already provided to you, rather than scavenging around and trying to find some other solution that may work, like Zoom, which has limitations in its free account of restricting you to 30-minute meetings. Skype, which has some complexity in getting it downloaded and installed potentially. The nice thing about Google Meet is most anybody who has an Android device is actually going to have Google Meet on it already. and it's a very simple free download for anybody on Apple's App Store side of the things, and most everyone has a Google account. So just another thing that you can use to help you further your business. That's really most of what I actually had for this morning. We may end up cutting it a little bit short here. I would like to take just a few minutes to see if anybody had any questions over what I've covered this morning.
You got anything about command?
I was specifically doing a Google-oriented meeting this morning. Do you have any specific questions about command? I might be able to help you with it. I just was kind of taking an opportunity to cover kind of what the Keller Williams G Suite side of things provides for you, and kind of what the My Business can do for you.
Fair enough. No, I'm just familiarizing myself with command. I don't really know enough about it to have any questions yet.
Well, I help with command as well. Elise also helps a lot with command, but I do help a lot with getting contacts imported, getting your information in there, the smart plans. If you have any questions about creating one of those or any of the functionality in there, I'm happy to help with that. And my kind of suggestion on the command stuff, and I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but in a lot of places in there, you can just kind of jump around in there and you can learn through experience. So for example, the smart plan section of command, give me just a second here.
So, here we go. We got 2 new guys.
There's a lot of places in here where you can just kind of go experiment in command and kind of learn it if there's some kind of in deeper stuff that you want to learn. The contacts, importing contacts can be a little bit difficult, and anyone that has difficulty importing their contacts or getting them in through another source, I recommend get a hold of me or Elise, and we'll be happy to get that process completed. We've kind of brought them in from a lot of weird different places, and we have pretty good luck in getting those in there. So that's kind of one of the first things you see. Outside of that, it's manual contact entry, and that there is pretty explanatory. I won't spend a lot of time there. The tasks are kind of associated with the contacts and smart plans and things like that. So as you start building this stuff, obviously you'll start seeing more tasks. So the smart plans, been a little bit since I've been in here. So once you actually get your contacts in there and get your database that you're wanting to try to build, and obviously as an end result get them to purchase from you, you're going to want to do the smart plans. And then, so they obviously have the predefined ones here that Keller Williams has decided, are just a good general fit.
Tried out the Share My App one last night.
What was it?
The Share My App, I did that last night. I don't even know if it worked.
There is a few things to that. So if you're doing like the Share Your App smart plan, there's a few things that obviously have to be in place. I'm just going to add this one really quick, just as an example to kind of show you what has to happen for this to be in here. So obviously we've got the smart plan. Then there's a few things that have to happen for that smart plan to be live. You have to select who you want to be part of that smart plan.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have any contacts in here right now, but then in here you would go in and select who you wanted to add to that smart plan and get that done. And then if you want to change certain parameters in a smart plan, one of these predefined templates, like the email or the time frame or any of these, this can all be changed. I think. Oh, this is a a managed plan. So if you create your own custom plan, you can go back in and edit that later. So if you want to change that time frame or whatever. And then once you've got that smart plan in place and you've got contacts assigned to it, you can publish that to your library. And then once that smart plan is published, it's going to show up here under your published smart plans. And then that's going to be a running smart plan. Obviously, when you're in here, they're going to do their best to let you know if there's anything that's going to cause problems. So for example, smart plans frequently rely on text messaging. Smart or KW text messaging happens through Twilio. So they're letting me know that I would have to set up my Twilio and subscribe, and they will actually give me a convenient link to do that directly from here. The rest of this, the referrals and the opportunities referrals, obviously, I do recommend going in here, trying to build yourself a network of agents in areas that you may know. So if you know somebody grew up in an area or something and they happen to be a real estate agent, you can use this to go ahead and invite them in and obviously try to get some referrals out of it, or even try to grow it to people you don't know. Establish contacts. A lot of people come to the lake, so it may not be a bad idea to try to just kind of grow that a little bit outside of that scope and see if you can find outside people that might be able to send you referrals as well. Opportunities, obviously, this is where the entering of the listings and stuff happens. I'm not going to spend much time covering that today. This here is the website side of it. Just a couple of quick things. So once you're in here, it will show you a link to your website, and it's also going to give you a link to some of your settings. And so this is just some general quick things that you can change. So the background pictures, the text for downloading your app and things like that. Some of this stuff is in development. You may encounter occasional problems with it. If you do seem to have a continuing problem, let myself or Elise know, and we'll help you in any way that we can. But this will also give you, and if you wanted to change your website URL, you can also do that under here. You can do featured listings. So if you have listings, you can feature your listings or somebody else's listings on your web page. Some of this is new stuff. I haven't had a lot of opportunity to mess around with it yet. But if you have any problems with it, let me know and we can get work through it. That's really, I didn't really plan on spending much time covering command this morning. But if anybody does have any questions or needs, there will be further trainings on command in the future. But if anybody does need more of a sit down session to kind of help me or Elise, are happy to help with that.
You mind giving out your contact info?
My number is 573-539-5558. And the best way to contact me is G Ashford. So that's G as in Gerald, my last name Ashford, ASHFORD, at kw.com.
Okay. Gerald? Ashford?
Yep.
And I'm putting in your email. G Ashford, is that ASHFORD?
Yes, at kw.com.
Okay, got you.
Like I said, any questions whatsoever, I'm happy to help. Some stuff, I'm not really the numbers person. I don't really do a lot with the transactions. But if it comes to that, I can at least steer you to the right person still. If nobody has any further questions, I'm going to go ahead and probably cut the meeting a little bit short this morning. If anybody has any questions in the future, technology, your computer's running slow, you need help getting set up to the printer, you have command questions, all of that stuff is what I'm here to help with. So anything to help you be more productive as a real estate agent.
You were talking about syncing earlier.
Yes, command has a function in it called PySync. So if you have contacts in a non-traditional place like
Got a PySync account. My phone actually has like 600 some odd contacts, but in PySync it's only showing 400 some odd contacts.
there is one thing with PySync. PySync will only sync contacts that have email addresses on them. That's one kind of weird thing between PySync and Command is if it doesn't have an email address on it, it won't sync it. And I, at this time, don't really know a workaround for that.
I thought that was an option in the settings.
I've messed with the settings on that before and tried, I haven't tried it in probably the last 30 days or so. But the last time that I tried it, I was not able to get anything that didn't have an email address.
So
And
if I'm syncing with PySync between my command contacts and my Gmail contacts, and my phone also automatically syncs from my phone contacts to my Gmail contacts, then you would think that if I put a new number into my phone, it would sync up to my Gmail contacts, and then that would sync from there to my command contacts.
yeah, it's going to sync to your Gmail ideally if you're saving it in the right place. You have to make sure that in your contacts that you're saving it to the right contacts folder, obviously, depending on the phone and how the accounts are set up.
Gerald, are you guys talking about PySync?
Yes.
PySync is going away.
Is it?
Is
Yes.
what?
There was a big announcement about it. PySync violated their contract with Keller Williams International last week, and they contacted Keller Williams agents directly, which is a direct violation of their contract with us, and they will be going away. There will be something taking their place, but it is not fully implemented yet. In the meantime, you can still use PySync, but it is not functioning completely properly from what I've experienced. It completely boogered up all of my contacts in my entire Google account.
Oh.
So you can
Well,
still use it, and it
I've
will
been
pull people.
corresponding with them when I have questions. I send them to their technical support department, and the guy answers me back. I thought
Tech
that
support
was
is fine, but they sent 8,000 agents an email that pretty much trashed Keller Williams.
Oh,
And that is a direct violation of their contract with us.
I
So
didn't
tech
get that.
support is different. That's us reaching out to them, not them just randomly reaching out to our agents.
Hmm.
And as soon as I'm allowed to talk about what the solution for that will be, I will make sure that you guys are all updated on it, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously there's been some changes that I was not fully aware of. So there will be some changes coming there obviously in the future. As those changes come, I will learn it and I will be there to help with it. So that's all I can really say on that for now. I do have a couple other things that I do have to get to this morning. So I'm going to cut this, like I said, a little bit short. If anybody does have any questions, feel free to get with me and I will help in any way that I can. Thank you and have a great day.
Nice to meet you, Gerald.
Nice
Hey
meeting you.
everyone, don't forget that next Tuesday is our regional tech director, Clark Kendall. I learn a ton from him every time that he teaches, and I even typically join his beginner classes just to see what changes have come and how we can do things more easily. If you're interested in some of his beginners classes, let me know. I can get you on the schedule to meet with him. It's typically about 5 to 10 people, so you get a really good opportunity to ask all of your questions. I think Martin might be teaching the week after that, and then you guys may have to deal with me answering the phones while I teach the class. But other than that, don't forget about the sales meeting tomorrow at 11:30 in the BDAR conference room, and then happy hour that evening and red day on Thursday. I will see you all tomorrow during the sales meeting. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.
Cue the phones.